And then maybe if we go to this, your new study or studies and data collection that you have done in
Mhm.
China. So maybe you can tell us who were the participants and what kind of data you collected. So what is the research design? So we can look a little bit of that first.
Yeah, so you mean I talk about the project for that school age children. In that study, the purpose is because nowadays accuracy assessment and the definition of sedentary behavior and needed in the studies. So we try to provide correlation or associations of sedentary behavior and with different health outcomes. And one creating sedentary behavior and physical activity in school age children. And the muscle activity and inactivity can provide information for how the sitting too much is bad at the muscle levels. So this study, we actually including this project are including three studies. So the one
Yeah.
is we measure in the laboratory settings in different daily, like typical activity tasks. So, I forgot about the packet samples. It's about 7 to 12 years children, school age children.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they are almost in elementary school. And so let me return back. So we chose like about 11 typical activity tasks. For example, like sitting, lying, sitting and playing play the phone games, and then standing, play the
Mm.
phone games, and walking at different speeds in the treadmills, and running and freely speed walking, like this kind of tasks. And we measure together with the gas and we also measure with the accelerometers. Actually, we set up quite different body locations accelerometers. Yeah.
Yeah.
And compare and also EMG
And
shots. Yes.
yeah. And where did you put the accelerometers?
Well, we put in 5 different body locations. For example,
Yeah.
the back, middle of the back, and the chest, and the waist and or hip, or yes,
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
and then the side on the side,
Yeah.
and then also the wrist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
in total for 5.
Yeah.
Because we want to see in different tasks how the accelerations provide information and how the muscle activities and also the energy expenditures. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. So those were the lab part. What were the
Yeah,
other parts of data
this is
collection?
the lab
Yeah.
part. This because we want to have the primary outcome for the study one is for the validation. So we try to develop kind of methods to use multiple devices to quantify quantity about how different movements, activities for the children. Okay. Then for the second part, we are measured for the children in normal school day for 1 day during 1 school days. The same setting, without the gas measurements. So all the
Mm.
other devices were in the school time. So we want to transfer the laboratory lab results to the daily lives. How actually in the real life the children movement. So how the accuracy detection for the multiple devices to measure children's physical activity and sedentary behaviors. Yes. And the third one, actually, we also measure for children's for 7 days. But in that study, we only wearing the Fibion devices. Yeah. So we try to provide that how the daily lives, how the children during the 7 days, how their physical sensory patterns and physical activities. It's like,
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
we want to see how differ because, for example, the obese and overweight children and the normal normal weight children, how they different, also different
Mm.
like weekday and weekends.
Yeah, I think it's a very very nice study. It's a lot of work if you think that the participants are wearing the electromyography swords for measurement of muscle
Mm-hmm.
activity. Then you have accelerometers in 5 different locations. And then in the lab, they also have the indirect calorimetry. They have the backpack and then the or backpack
Mm-hmm.
or the harness, and then they have the mask, and they are doing all these 11 activities. And then they go to school. You leave out the indirect calorimetry, but still you have a lot of devices, full day of data, and then you have also 7-day collection. So quite the impressive measurement. How difficult was it to do this measurement? I know the practicalities of even EMG swords, making them fit for adults or children. How was the practicalities of these measurements?
Yeah, this actually it's very time consuming. Yeah, because for the lab and the 1 day school, we measure the in total almost over 100 children. So the sample size is quite bigger than the normal laboratory settings study. And for the 7 days measures, we also measured over 400 children's. Yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
So that is
Yeah.
really took us almost 3 years collection, collections. Yeah. So then nowadays I have a lot of work to analyze the data. So it's take very long time. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
everything is really some difficult because the first year I started my work in China. So I only have one student with me, and so she also my actually is my first PhD student. Yes, so she needed to
Yeah.
learn a lot of measurements, and then we have to recruitment also very difficult because the children we have to get the agreement from the parents, and because we have measurements in the school, so that is also needed the agreement from the teachers and the schools, the head of the school. So this is
Mm.
very practical things needed to design about not only the research, it's a lot about how to really carry out the research in that
Mm.
case. And otherwise, I think we finished very well.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's very
Mm,
impressive. And collecting 100 people in the
mm,
lab, it's usually these studies are like maybe 10
mm,
participants and so on. So you have a
mm,
very impressive data set. So maybe if we first talk about the lab
mm,
setting, you want to do validation and you have a lot of good data. You have the
mm,
calorimetry. You have, maybe you can clarify, you have different brands of
mm.
devices, or what devices did you use for the back, chest, waist, thigh, and wrist?
Yes, actually, we have the active graph. That is the most commonly used accelerometers. So active
Yeah,
graph, and we also use the Fibion. Actually,
yeah,
we carried out of devices. So we have 5 active graph very on, and then the
yeah,
2 Fibion. One is on the side, and another one is in the pocket location. Yes, pocket
yeah,
location. And then we had also the sense,
yeah,
another posture detection devices. We also put on the set of the side that yeah.
yeah.
So that's it. The all accelerometers brands we used in that laboratory settings. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, and you have one paper
Mhm.
submitted. Could you tell a little bit like how is the study design
Mhm.
in the submitted paper of this validation part?
Okay, and I just opened that paper. So I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
make it
please do.
better explain. But in that
Yeah.
study, we compare that Fibion devices in two settings. One is in a laboratory setting. So there are Fibions was compared with the in-depth calorimetry systems, so the gas collections. And another one we actually in the school times, we compare the two Fibion video observation. Yeah. Because the CBL accelerometer actually is quite new. I think it's a new brand in physical activity research. So they had validation in adults, and
Yeah.
then the children only for the cycling, and so it's only few validation paper, because in our project we want to provide how children their physical activity and centric behavior. So we want to find accuracy assessment. So we also use the Fibion devices to have this, evaluate this validate of the Fibion accelerometers against in-depth parameters for the estimating for the energy expenditure, and also to compare the classifying the activity types against video observation during school hours.
Yeah, very interesting. And I think it's a very strong
Mhm.
validation that you are comparing to indirect calorimetry. So you
Mm,
actually basically have, you could call gold
mm,
standard, the best you can measure of energy expenditure in
mm,
time, in kind of minute to
mm.
minute way. And then you have the video observation, which is also basically gold standard for the activity types. How did you manage to do the video observation in the school day, and how was the coding of
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, because the video recording is more for the, it's needed to careful without shooting for children's face. So we only located on the shoulder. So the camera has is only recording for the children's leg movement. So only focus on the leg, the side.
Okay.
So when children sit, stand, and moving, we can easily to see it, and we can't see any others. So there's no any other information we can get from the camera. So in that case, we only put the posture difference only for the sitting, standing, and moving. Yeah. So it's only for three types. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
we don't use very difficult or hard coding. We only coding for sitting, standing, or moving.
Yeah. And did you say that did the participant wear the camera, or how did you do it? Was it on the person, the camera?
Yeah, because we made ourselves one kind of can fix on their chest. Yeah,
Yeah.
then the camera is GoPro. The GoPro head is only shooting for the leg. Yes, and
Yeah.
so it's fixed on there. It's only shooting on the side.
Yeah. No, that's very interesting. And is this your innovation? Had you read that somebody else was using this, or did you innovate this way
We
yourself?
just we just use our own way.
All right. No, but that's quite interesting because it has the kind of better
Yeah.
privacy, but still you can actually do free living, which is important because the free living is so challenging. Many times there's validation studies that you compare, for example, different brands. You compare Acticrafts to
Mm.
something else, but it's not, you just get the difference, but you don't know which one is correct. So this one is very nice that you can actually get the activity types with the gold standard accuracy from free living and full day. And yeah, you had 100 participants. How much work was it to look through the
Oh,
videos
uh,
of 8 hours, 800 hours of the GoPro video?
Okay, then I have to update this information, because for the observation we only choose the a small, so it's a sample. Yeah.
Okay.
So we only
Okay. Yeah.
about 20 participate. I guess it's about 20 participates. But finally, because
Okay.
shooting on the lab is not some participants not very easy to classify to say AI
Code.
coding. So
Yeah.
finally we only have the 11 participants
Okay. Yeah.
results for the observations.
Yeah. All right. But very,
Yeah.
very nice.